Hello, welcome to Switched On, and today we are looking at Football Heroes Turbo. It's a new game that came out yesterday, Thursday, what day? Yesterday being 17th maybe, of January on the eShop, and at the moment it looks like it's only going to be released in America, so America and Canada, and this one is $15, which, I mean, we'll get into a bit more detail, but I feel it's a little overpriced. But don't take that as an indication that it's a bad game at all. It seems a little premium. This is by Run Games, and they've released different versions on iOS, and on mobile it's actually free to play and heavily influenced with sort of in-app purchases for currency, as these sort of games are. And they also released a Steam version, which is currently in early access on Steam. And that's a similar sort of price. It's about £11 on Steam. But as I say, that is in early access. So, as you might be able to tell, it's an American football game. And it is more akin to NFL Blitz, something like that. So, very arcadey, power-ups, lots of violence. And it's actually a really fun game. It has online play, which I haven't tried yet, to be honest. But it is there, and local multiplayer and some options. But the only single player mode you got is a season mode, where basically you go through a series of matches, earning currency, upgrading your team. Quite a heavy sort of RPG element, where you earn XP for your players. It reminds me a lot of an old game on the Amiga and Mega Drive called Speedball, which was like a futuristic sports game. And in that, you sort of had a fixed team that you always started with, and you could upgrade those players by buying power-ups for them or paying to put them up levels. And it's very similar here. If I show you the team section, these are the player cards that you start with, and you can see there some of them are level 1, some are level 2. I've upgraded already, and as you go through the matches, you earn XP. And then you can spend that XP to train players, and that puts them up to the next level and increases all their stats. So if you want to keep winning and moving up the levels, you really need to do that. It's got quite an extensive editing functionality as well, so you can edit pretty much anything in the game. So here you can see I'm editing this single player who's named Crosby, but I can change his name, give him a random name, change his number, skin tone. You can also change your team. Got different logos, change colours, so it's really cool, quite extensive, and you can customise it. Have quite a lot of fun with that, I would imagine, to get it exactly how you want. But as I say, here's your team. So you've got your offensive cards, defence cards, some reserves that you can buy, and then as players get injured, you can swap them out. And then this is quite interesting here. You've got like a free agency, and what this is a list of players, 7 on there at the moment. And as each week of the season goes by, the lowest one will drop off. So you only have a certain amount of time to buy these players. I think it's a really cool mechanic. You've also got a salary cap, which you can see in the middle at the top there. Team value at the moment is worth $868,000. We've got a salary cap of 1.2 million. And you can see on the player cards themselves there, that's the salary of the player. So again, a nice mechanic of keeping your players... keeping the level of your team, round about the right level, so you can't go overpowered too quickly. That's dependent. Every time you level your team up, which is the team level at the top bar, I'm currently level 3, but every time you go to a new level, then your salary cap increases, which allows you to buy better players. And then finally, to buy these players, you see the value at the bottom with like the stack of dollars, and you see there, for example here, Garrett, he's $18,000, and at the moment you can see the team cash on the top bar. We've got $65. That's not an indication of a massive grind. You've only got $65. You need to get to 18,000. Before I started this video, I went through and basically bought a lot of players and upgraded my team. So I've already spent most of my money. But let's have a look at the gameplay. So, as I say, played a little bit of this so far. So we're kind of in the playoffs now of the first season, and this is match 3, which looks like the final. So good time to join here. We've got the Brighton Sea Black Hawks, which is my team, against Badwind Harbour Crossbones. Like a pirate-themed team. And you can see the relative values there of the team. I'm worth 868,000 in player salaries. And the Badwind Harbour Crossbones are just over $1 million in salaries. So another good thing about this game, it's really nicely presented. I think the graphics are cool. Look a little bit ropey animation-wise, but I think it's quite quirky. Fits the game quite well. Stadium looks cool. And runs really smoothly as well. So overall, really impressed with the sort of presentation. And let's start a game off here. Let's receive. So as I say, got lots of special moves. So you got a boost, and you can see you can punch, try and escape tackles and stuff by punching players in the head, basically. Here's your playbook. It's a bit like the old school Madden on the Mega Drive. So you've got 4 plays to pick from using the face buttons, passes and runs. So we'll start with a run. Oh, I've been penalised for taking too long. So here we go. Run the run. Then let's turn around and try and thump these, and got tackled. But you earn money and XP for most of the things you do there, so all is not lost. So 3rd and 8. So this is where it differs here from real American football. Is you need to get 20 yards, not 10. So that's one change. And we've got a player wide open, but that's a tackle before he could get to it. And 4th down. Having to punt it away already. Games play it really quickly. You can probably get a game done within 5 minutes. It's no quarters. There's 2 halves of just over 2 minutes each. So it's really great arcade sort of feel to get through these games quickly. Oh, and he's evaded a tackle, and he won't evade that one. That's my new player I've just signed, Ferrell. Kind of the clue of the player names gives them away there. So he is Ferrell. On defense, you pick which player to control. You can switch around using the right stick to pick a different player. Basically reading the play, just watching him because he's wide open. But I imagine my defense have dealt with the quarterback and sacked him. So they're on 4th and 20, so they're going to punt that away. And we'll take back over with just under a minute to go. So you can see it plays out really quickly. And he's been levelled, Carver. See if we can do a passing play. Oh, and A is wide open. And we're in. And this should be the first score of the game. Spin into the end zone for some extra bucks. But Rutledge, he's been a player that's been a real superstar this season. There's no surprise he goes in for the touchdown, and the extra point kick is good. And it's a 7-point lead. And punt that away. So each player's got a special move. And if you look in the bottom left-hand corner, there's some icons down there. And basically, if you press the right bumper button on the joypad, you get to activate a special move, which is quite a powerful move, but once used, it has to go on a cooldown for a varied number of more downs. So, for example, if you use it and a number 4 appears, you can't use that again for the next 4 plays. I think I said downs, but it's plays, basically. So, that's quite nice as well. So, you can't just spam that. Oh, I left him wide open. That's a good tackle by Klein. Taking care of business. They've called a timeout as time's ticking on towards half time. I played a few football games on the Switch. There's not much choice, to be honest. It's Mutant League Football, which is obviously, as the name suggests, full of mutants and quite away from a realistic football game. Well, this isn't particularly realistic. It's more realistic than having goblins and skeletons fighting it out on the football field. I don't mind Mutant League Football. There's something just not quite clicking with me at the minute with that. I do need to give it a bit more time. The only other football game I can think of is an arcade classic, one of the ACA games. And again, I've not played that too much, but it's an old game. There's also obviously when the Nintendo Online service launched for the Switch, that launched with the NES version of football, which is pretty basic. So I would say at the moment this is your best choice if you want a football game. Oh, interception! If you want a football game on the Switch, I'd definitely recommend this. It's a really fun game. Oh, you're going to get sacked. So that quarterback has got a special ability to be able to throw the ball whilst being tackled, and I forgot to activate it. But here we are, I think third down. Oh, it's a risky one, and he's been levelled before he can catch it. Oh, it's third down now, 3rd and 23. So we're in all sorts of trouble. May end up punting this one away. Yeah, shouldn't throw him in coverage, so we're going to punt again. Not ideal. See if we can stop them making any headway. And that was a really good bit of coverage there. They're starting way back on inside their own 10. Oh, and he's used his special ability, but just gets surrounded. But gets him a couple of extra yards. 2nd and 11. Say the sound's quite repetitive in this. There's no real crowd sounds as such. Oh, I've left the receiver wide open by falling over. Yeah, there's no real crowd chants or anything, so it can be a little bit repetitive in that sense. And it does feel a little bit like a mobile game, but obviously the physical controls help. Really interested to try online mode as well, see how well that works. I would imagine with it being limited to the American market only, it's going to massively reduce the amount of online players. But I'll certainly be giving that a go. And I will update the comments below if I do manage to get an online game, see how that runs. Oh, wide open, in for the touchdown. What a throw from the quarterback. And Crusher goes over the line. And they've got a chance to level it up here with 40 seconds to go. And the kick is good. So 7-7. We're going to get the ball back. We've got 40 seconds to get a score. Need to get out of bounds really. If we can. Well, we're going to stop the clock anyway. So, 35 seconds. I'm going to go for a pretty obvious passing play, which maybe not have been the best idea. Because now we're in trouble. Oh, we managed to throw it away under pressure. And Rollins, that's Seth Rollins, the WWE. I mean, that's the other good thing as well, saying that, is that you could make a custom team. For example, you could rename all the players after your favourite American football team, or whatever. Alright, we're gonna run out of time if we're not quick. Oh, timeout with a second remaining, and this is gonna have to be a Hail Mary. Can we do it? Oh, we've got X wide open for the touchdown and the win. Last second victory. I think it was Hodges, was it? Managed to get free. We'll go over for the extra point, but it doesn't really matter. And that's us winning the playoffs. This is still level 1, so if you think the gameplay looks a little bit easy, a little bit basic, we're in the first season. We've got plenty of rewards there. A load of cash. And that's basically level 1 done. So we're in season 2 now, where the skill level goes up. Here's a list of the seasons. So you see we're in season 2, basically level 2. Just means we've gone up to the next tier of teams. And there's 8 tiers so far to play. Watched a few other people playing this, and they're around level 4 or 5, and they're sort of struggling to consistently win. So it's obviously going to get a lot harder. And we've got a new load of teams to play, but we'll see how that goes. So yeah, hopefully that's a nice little look at this one. As I say, it's on the American eShop. If you know how to set up eShop accounts, you just basically need to set up a new account on your Switch, new email address, and you sort of sign up with American details, and you can buy games for America. You will have to buy American credit for the eShop, which again is very easily done. Just leave me a comment below if you need any help on that. I say $15 works out to around about £11 in the UK. As I say, maybe a little bit overpriced. There's probably a good amount of value here. Obviously, sports games are quite replayable, and this one having the RPG element, so you can sort of upgrade your team and buy new players. You know, it's going to keep you playing for quite a while. So, you know, consider around about that £10 mark. You're probably getting a reasonable amount of content here. And obviously your mileage will vary depending on how much you like American football or arcade sports games. But yeah, I really enjoy it. I think this is the best football game on the Switch. I'll probably play this one quite a lot. And quite pleased with the purchase. And yeah, it'd be interesting to take it online and see how that plays out. But for now, we'll end that. And hope you enjoyed the video. And subscribe if you would like more Switch content. Got quite a lot of different videos on the channel, so check those out, and I will see you next time. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you later.